What's going on, everyone? It is Thursday, September 23rd. This is the 8th episode of Win the Week. Happy to have you guys back. Today, we're going to be talking about meditation. Before we get into today's episode, make sure you give us a follow on Instagram, win_the_week. Our TikTok handle is at Win the Week, and be sure to join our Facebook group as well, Win the Week. Joe, it's Thursday. We're gearing down. We're getting ready to hit the weekend, but we got to finish strong here. How's the week going for you so far?
Yep. It has been an up and down week. I am up in Cleveland, my former hometown, for the week. So with that, I've just been a little bit out of the routine, right? When I'm down in my home, I got my routine going. I'm winning the week. I'm getting in the gym. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You take yourself out of that routine and into a new location. It's been a little bumpy ride this week for me, if I'm being honest. But trying to, close it strong and really get a lot done on the professional side. That's pretty much the main reason I'm up here for a week. So I have been able to do that, but at the same time, Kyle, unfortunately, just really have not been able to, check that. The workout box has been tough, just given the new routine and being in a different location. But that being said, still trying to make it a successful week, having a good day today and hoping to close out strong Friday. So, and then the weekend, we got some good plans as well, obviously. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why today's episode is going to be important, right? Because, well, if you can't physically get it done, then you got to be sharp mentally. And I think meditation is a great way to be able to do that. So, hey, maybe we'll give you some tips and it'll help you out a little bit. But you mentioned we got some good plans this weekend. I'm actually going up to Cleveland. Me and Joe are going to the Browns game, hoping to get a W against the Chicago Bears. So it should be a good time. But outside of that, it's been a good week for me. I'm putting more of an emphasis on running again. I think I mentioned in a prior episode that, I used to run a lot. I kind of got away from it. Now I'm starting to get back into it. And again, it really has a lot of mental benefits and physical benefits as well. So getting back into the swing of things with running, it hasn't been easy, but we're starting to get a little bit better at it. So with that being said, today we're talking about meditation. So on your assessment, I know for me particularly, and I think for Joe as well, we both scored relatively low on this one. The way that we defined this was meditating for 15 minutes a day, and then your score would be how many days, Monday through Friday, that you're actually doing that. So for me, I know it's one that I said I wanted to improve on. Today, we're going to dive into this a little bit deeper. I think when we talk about meditation, a good place to start is to define it, because I think a lot of us may not be really familiar with how to meditate or what it is, or we've heard of it, but we don't really know how to implement it into our 10 ways to win. So the definition of meditating is pretty easy, right? So the definition says meditate, to engage in contemplation or reflection. So it's really easy, right? So the emphasis here is contemplation or reflection. It's just thinking. It's taking some time to contemplate on your life, some things you might be working on, some goals physically, some goals mentally, professionally, whatever that is. It's just taking time to reflect and have some contemplation on those things, right? I was looking at a list here, and when we look at meditation, obviously we're like, well, okay, I understand what it might be, but how is it helping me? So here's a list of 10 ways that meditation can actually help you. All right. So it's reduce stress, emotional balance, increased focus, reduced pain, reduced anxiety, increased creativity, reduced depression, increased memory, increased compassion, and increased productivity. Okay. So you got 10 things right there. And I know at least one of those is going to resonate with you. And one of those is something that popped out. And you're like, okay, yeah, maybe that is worth looking into. So Joe, I kind of went through the 10 ways that it can help you. And I also defined it. Why don't you give us the why? Why don't you tell us a little bit about why we should be meditating?
Yeah, so it's just really important to improve your mental attention, right? And one thing, and I read some books on Zen, okay, which really focuses on meditation. when we spend more time allocating attention towards just the present moment, right? We're not thinking about the future. We're not thinking about things we have to do later on in the week. We're not thinking about the past or things that we were successful at, or maybe we had a few missteps at. We're just focusing on that present moment. You're really going to be able to see life through just a cleaner lens. You're going to have way more clarity mentally, right? So, I mean, with that, that helps you recover from negative emotions or negative past situations that have come up. And it also is going to decrease stress for maybe things you're not looking forward to in the future, right? So it's really just coming center mentally and just focusing specifically on the present. And it really does work very well, right? And I think one thing is, okay, it's like, so we know meditation has a lot of great benefits, right? But like, how do you really get going, right? How do we just kind of take that first step to get started, right? And I think with meditation, it really breaks down to two different routes you can go. Okay, the first one is probably one that people have heard of in the past. It's called box breathing. With that, it's just beginning by closing your eyes, breathing in and out through your nose or mouth, and just counting to whatever, you 4 or 5 seconds slowly, right? Closing your eyes just and focusing on your breath, right? Focusing on holding that breath inside, count to 4, and then release, right? So what that is going to naturally do is just slow down your heart rate and slow down your mind to just relax and be present in the moment, right? And it's really as simple as that. That is what we call box breathing. And it's just repeating the step of inhale, count to 4, exhale, count to 4, right? So it's as simple as that. And it really does just help slow down your mind and help you just focus on those breaths, right?
Yeah, that's great. And I think one thing you'll notice too, if you haven't meditated recently or in the past at all, one thing you may notice is your brain's cluttered. You may be thinking about a bunch of other stuff you have going on. And I think one tip is just learn to be comfortable in just your own thoughts and just put everything to the side for a minute, right? If you think about, your day to day, you've got so much going on. You're working, you're communicating with friends, family, you're on social media, you've got other interests going on. And if you really sit down and think about your day, how often and how frequently are you really just doing nothing and shutting it down? Probably not very often. And if you think about that, that's kind of scary. Your brain's never really getting a time to think and reflect on things. So as you're new to this, as you begin this, just know that it may be a little uncomfortable at first. It may be tough to focus your brain. Your brain's going to go a million different places at first. But as you continue to do this, you're going to have more control and you'll be able to kind of focus in a little bit more. So don't be discouraged at first if you try this and you're like, man, that was weird. My brain's going everywhere. That's pretty normal. Just continue to give it time and you'll start to be able to control your thoughts a little bit more. So I did just want to jump in with that because I know if you're new to meditation, that is something that is probably going to happen to you.
Yup. And listen, it is not easy. Okay. I'm the type of person that, I'm always looking forward. I'm always planning things out. I'm always forecasting. So with that, sometimes it is hard to just come back to center and really just focus on the present and just clear your mind. So this really does work. And Kyle mentioned it earlier. This is definitely an area of the assessment that I'm trying to work on, just being more in the present, right? And I have seen it work compared to when I would never, ever focus on meditation or anything like this. I have seen it work just in the instances that I have been doing it now on a weekly basis. Okay. Then the second of the different ways to get started and do it is called mantra meditation. Okay. With that, still, starting by closing your eyes, breathing through your nose, mouth, just repeating, and then figuring out a mantra or word that you're going to use for that breathing, right? So, for example, you could use be or be still or now or present, right? And just breathing in and out from your nose or mouth repeatedly and just silent in your mind saying that word back and forth, that mantra, right? So that's going to be your mantra during your meditation, and pick a word that, has a meaning to you and has some type of meaning of being one, being present. I like to focus on just the breathing method. I don't do the mantra, but that being said, from what I've seen in some research, it does work very well. So those are the two ways that you can get started. And it's as simple as just getting going, right? As we've mentioned in previous pods, getting started on these is the most difficult part. So it's just a matter of just getting started and getting it going, right?
And if you are new to this, again, don't feel like you need to do it every day. Let's take baby steps here. Maybe you do it, let's start with twice a week, and then we crank it up. Maybe it's 3 the following week. So let's just get started, take the first step, try one of these methods. Again, don't get discouraged, but this is big. And we kind of talked about earlier in the episode, the 10 ways that this is going to benefit you or potentially can benefit you. Again, stress, emotional balance, focus, pain, anxiety, creativity, reduced depression, increased memory, increased compassion, increased productivity. One of those, if not more, I know for me, I'm looking at this list and I'm saying, man, this could really help me in a lot of ways. So I'm going to make it an effort to do this on a more regular basis. Again, for me, it was one of my lower scores on my assessment. So guys, just give it a shot. Don't be discouraged. Take the time. It's really good for you and it's going to help you. So we really appreciate you guys tuning in today. We're going to see you again on Tuesday, September 28th. Again, go follow us on social. I know we say this every episode, but we want to start seeing some more engagement. Tag us in your workouts on Instagram. We want to see what you guys are doing. If you have questions, send us a message. We're here to help. Again, Instagram is win_the_week. TikTok at Win the Week. Facebook group is Win the Week. And we will see you guys on Tuesday. Be sure to follow us on Apple Podcast and also on Spotify as well.
And we about to win the week. Hey.